Hi, I want to talk about function notation. So over here I have an equation f of x equals 2x plus 1. So what does this mean? This x right here inside the parentheses, that is actually the input. That is the input value. And everything that after I input over here, 2x plus 1, after I input whatever value I want to, that is our output value. So again, our input is the x and our output is the 2x plus 1 in this case. What does that mean? Well, we can rewrite this in a different way. We can rewrite an input as an ordered pair. In other words, x is our input and y is the output. We can also represent it as a table. So for example, for the table, x would represent the input and y would represent the output. So be careful when you're evaluating equations. You are sometimes given the input value, but sometimes you're given the output value. So let's go ahead and look at an example where we're given an input value and when we're given an output value. So let me just erase this. All right, so looking at the equation f of x equals to 2x plus 1, what if we wanted to input the value 2? What would it mean to find f of 2? Well, f of 2 means input the value 2 for x. So that is actually 2 times 2 plus 1. And then we would evaluate what 2 times 2 plus 1 is. What is 2 times 2 plus 1? Well, 2 times 2 plus 1 is just 4. 4 plus 1, which is actually equal to 5. So what we have done here is our input value is 2 and our output value is 5. This is one way to represent using function notation. This actually means the same thing if I would have written when x is 2, y is 5. I could have also written this ordered pair on a table. So in other words, when x is 2, y is 5. What does that look like on our graph? Well, we look at our graph here, and if I go when x is 2, what is 5? I can see it right here. When x is 2, y is 5 right here. Or I will write it as an ordered pair so you could see it. When x is 2, y is 5, which is right there. So basically, the input is always the x value. The output is always the y value. All right. Now, what happens if you are given the output value and not the input? So be careful. A lot of times, students confuse the output with the input. So what do I mean by that? Well, let me show you an example. What if instead of finding f of 2, we said we want f of x equal to 5. So in this case, we are given the output value first. What is the output value? 5. What does it mean, f of x? Well, f of x is actually the same as y equals 5. Well, where is y equal to 5? You can see y equals 5 is this horizontal line. And what it means is where the line y equals 5 intersects our other line, 2x plus 1. So our value is 2, 5. That means we were actually going to write this as an equation. We would write 5 equals to 2x plus 1. So you can see when 5 equals to 2x plus 1, if we evaluated this, we would get x equals 2. So I subtract 1 on both sides, we get 4 equals to 2x. Divide 2 on both sides, we get x equals 2. So x equals 2 is our solution for our input, but we were given the output first. So just be careful. Always look at your equation and decide, are we given the input or are we given the output?